เค
Okay. All right. So I'm sitting here with Nair. She's the animation supervisor on this short film, and we got M on the camera. We're just spending this afternoon looking at animation in terms of the process of it. And so this is the shot that Nair worked on, and just to show you, kind of the processes that take place in animation. So we've got a play blast. So go ahead and play that.
This shot that I've done. It's really quick shot.
Yeah, can you play it again?
Sure.
Okay, so each animator gets like a shot like this, and then roughly what, 3 to 5 seconds maybe, depending.
Yes.
And so an animator gets a shot, and a shot is where the camera doesn't really go anywhere, and so she gets a shot. And everyone gets assigned a series of shots. In this short film, which is what, 9 minutes, each animator got about 4 shots.
5 or 6 shots.
Okay. So get the camera a little closer so you can hear us. From my understanding, there's somebody in layout who lays out the characters in the environments, and it's a Maya file. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So from there, it comes to you. And so it kind of looks just like this, but the character is not animated.
No.
Okay. And from there, like what? The character's already posed, or?
Well, sometimes this the layout artist will like blocking the animations already. Like it's like he suggests the acting for this character. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it comes with that's a T-pose.
I see.
Yeah, so it's up to us to like either we go with the layout choice or we just create a new one.
I see. Okay, so then from there, you animate it with what is called the first pass of animation, right?
Yes.
So the first pass of animation, from my understanding, also is timing and poses, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Timing and choice.
Okay, acting choice. I see. So then the supervisor, which is usually you, looks at it, reviews it, right? So how long does that process though for that first pass take? Like for this one?
Well, for a shot like this, it's like not that long, so it took me only like 2 or 3 hours to finish it.
Okay. Once the supervisor approves it, then we go on to what is called the second pass, right?
Yes.
And what is that?
It's called splining,
Okay.
which we start to think about the timing and the style.
Right.
Break down the pose.
So the timing, splining is also known as easing in and out. Okay. So then the supervisor looks at that pass, right? And then we go on to the last pass, which is, what would you call it? Seasoning?
Polishing, but
Polishing.
it is not like a seasoning, it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so seasoning is, like you said, what, secondary animation?
Yes,
Okay.
secondary, and you think about all the tiny details, like the blink, but you need to animate within that blink. It's not just like one pose, like one key here, one key here. No, it's like slow in here. The next frame should stop around here, and it close.
I see.
And it opens.
Right.
You have to think about it in every frame.
Right. So I guess that's, what wasn't the second pass you talked about adding arcs and in-betweens?
Yes.
That's done in the second pass.
Well, it depends. Like the arcs, you can add it from the first pass. Like sometimes some people like blocking, they do really detailed block, like every 2 frame, and they think about the arcs already. Or just can like you can just do like pose this and this and do, and when then you break down the pose like in between, you can start think about the arcs later.
Yeah. So that's usually though in the second pass and the first pass sometimes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then, going back to this shot though, like how long did it take for this whole whole thing to be animated?
About for all 3 characters, you see trees and 2 birds. It takes about 3 days.
3 days. Okay. Can we look at the Maya scene and can you just talk a little? Because we talked about the splines. Just to should maybe look at the head and how you use the
head, right?
Really. Yeah. I see.
Well, if you like what I talk about the blinks, if you take a look at the eyes control, you see the details of the blink right here. So this is a blink. This is really rough. Like sometimes blink. Here I have a ease in, ease out a little bit, but I don't usually go like a flat curves like this. I usually like to slow down a little
I see.
bit.
Yeah, like here too.
Keep the things going just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. For getting away with it, so or else you might get the what we call the dead pixels.
Dead pixels, right. Interesting. I didn't know that. And how many controls are on this tree?
Controls?
Yes.
Overall? I'm not too sure. It's like I think about like something like 80.
80?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you just show here, you can like show the details control. So like this.
More controls.
It's
Yeah.
high, yeah.
Yeah, hidden. Yeah. So one of the students had a question for you, and it was, what's easier to animate? Like, what's the hardest thing to animate?
Hardest thing to animate? Still human.
Still
Regular human.
A regular human?
Yes.
It has to be realistic?
Yes, because if there's something wrong, unnatural, people's gonna notice it right away.
And so would that be, because usually I like to break down animation as physical animation, where a character's jumping around dancing, versus acting, like an emotional scene, like in a soap opera. So what would be more difficult for you?
Difficult for me. For me personally, I think the dancing around, something that like hard for us to reference ourselves.
I see.
That's hard.
Right.
That's something we have to imagine, and you're not sure it's going to go or not.
I see. So if you have a reference of a breakdance scene, that'd be easier than trying to reference somebody in space breakdancing.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This would be less gravity. Okay. Okay. Just to also talk about in the Maya scene is that you had like the background and you hid the background because it was so dense, right?
Yes.
So this is kind of interesting thing too is how sometimes as animators you're just concerned about the animation and not about the environment, and so you hid all the trees earlier when we were setting this up. So can you turn those on just to, I think it was a little towards the end. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's what the environment looks like, and it's very heavy, as we call it.
Yes.
And so then it takes a lot longer for the play blast to play blast and review the animation.
Right.
Yeah. How often do you play blast if you're animating in one day?
If in the first pass, blocking, I barely do it because I'm only concerned about the pose.
Okay.
Sometimes timing, but we can adjust it later. So it's key. Not so many key, we can adjust it easily.
Right.
After that, we do sliding a lot.
Oh, okay.
So many play blast.
Yeah.
Stack up.
Right. And this is, would you say this is different from animating video games?
Totally different.
Yeah.
Because for like a show like this, you got camera and people, the audience eyes is a camera. So in the another angle, you can cheat. You can like make an arc when it actually like it's not like on a different dimension. But in game, it has to look good in every angle because the game people like can like look around.
Right. Yeah. So you're always having to check. Would you say it's harder then because you've got to?
It's harder. It's harder for people that when you're animating, you rely on the camera only. Like if you start to make it out, you just look at the camera. And sometimes you messed up the curves in the graph editor.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe like if the camera on the camera it looks good, but in the curve it messed up. If you just change the camera angle, you see that difference.
Right. I see. So, what is it? How many seconds, you know, is a typical animator here expected to do for, you know, short film movie type of stuff? Yeah, how many seconds are they expected to animate a week?
We estimate in frames. So right now it's about, if you like high quality, like a movie quality, it's about 200, 200 frames per week.
200 frames, which is about 8 seconds. And then for video games, do you remember how many seconds? Because you guys worked on that.
Easier. It's more. It's like sometimes like 500.
Oh, I see.
Per week. Yeah, but that's because in game you don't have to think about the acting, the reference.
Yeah, it's just like punch kick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you know, you get like money per week.
Right, yeah. That's interesting. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing about animation, the whole process.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.